It is a great honor and a privilege to introduce again Dr. Daniel Dana from Tehran, from Iran. We're here in Jerusalem.
This is my great honor, dear Dr. Glassman, to be here, and thank you so much for this interview, and I hope that should be useful for your audience. Yesterday we were talking about my background and how I became involved in politics from the time that Ayatollah Khomeini came to Paris from Najaf. From Najaf, Iraq, came to Turkey, and he wanted to go to Kuwait, and he couldn't, and a group of people like Ibrahim Yazdi, family of my ex-wife, and Bani Sadr and Qutb Zadeh and many other Iranian who were anti-Westerner, anti-Shah and anti-modern civilization, let's say, extremist Muslim, or in brackets terrorism, which we have seen with own eyes during last 41 year plus, whatever they have done with Islamic Republic. From that time, I have started to fight against them, because it is based on my own personal knowledge, personal experience, how Shi'i Muslim as major sector of Islam could be dangerous. As around about 42 years we are watching the story from different mass media. We are reading the reports, and we are focusing on different TV and different reports, different papers, and different mass media, how they are acting with their bottom of hearts, the ideology which is 100% based on terror and terrorism, anti-civilization, anti-modernization, anti-democracy, anti-secularism, anti-whatever comes out from Western civilization. I mentioned that I have condemned to death execution by a revolutionary court in Iran because of my political military activity. Yesterday I told you that I proposed to Her Majesty Queen in Rabat, Morocco, in 20th March 1979, means before that revolution being really announced. 12 days later of this meeting that I had with Her Majesty Queen in Rabat, Morocco, it was the day of referendum. Islamic Republic, they proposed question of Iranian nation, Islamic Republic, yes or no. 12 days before that I was with Queen, and I mentioned that because of my military background, I am ready to go back to Iran and shoot Khomeini. Finish. And once to myself, and case closed the story, which she does not accept it. She was not happy with proposal.
Can I just ask, if that would have happened, did you realize that there was a good chance that you would have been, your life would have ended as well?
Certainly, they will kill me immediately.
And you were prepared to sacrifice your life?
I sacrificed my life defending of my nation, defending of my people, defending of the history of my nation, of diabolic ideology of Shi'i Islam. This is whatever motivated me. With bottom of my heart, I was ready to do that, because I didn't negotiate with anybody, even my ex-wife, even my family. I didn't talk to nobody. Just I wanted to talk to Shah himself in Morocco. He was sick, and his wife, Queen, came to visit me, and we were talking around about 45 minutes, and I told her, I need the material, that's all, nothing else. I don't need anything. Because 3 years ago I left Iran, and many things changed because of revolutionary atmosphere. I need my material to do that. I don't need nobody, I don't need nothing. Just voluntarily, because of my own belief, serious belief, I want to do this operation. Because I am very sure this evil man, in brackets, Khomeini and his party, they will destroy Iran.
You had a premonition that this was
Yes, yes, because of my personal knowledge, both in academic, as reasonable, active lawyer, expert in Iranian history, and whatever I have seen in my life.
And the Shah of Iran, his wife was in Morocco as well at this time?
Yes, yes. All the family was in Morocco, in
We have
Rabat.
a picture, if we can just
Yes,
show
for
our
sure.
audience.
Go for that. Take your time.
This is the picture of the, she was the wife of the Shah.
Yes, I told you that because of this, and later on, when I established the first paramilitary organization against regime in Paris, bit by bit we had influence in England, in Germany, in Rome, in Switzerland, and many other European countries, and we were fighting against leftists and Muslim terrorists, because they were not happy with Iranian women, which they were not using chador. Not only in Iran, they wanted to destroy Iranian women even in Europe. We were fighting against them. You want to destroy Iran, okay, bad luck for all of us. But you cannot follow the same strategy for our women in Europe. We were fighting with them in the street, in the university, any in exhibition or any demonstration that they had, we were fighting against them. Okay, later on, I have established the first paramilitary organization against, well, these sort of activities of Iranian either leftist or people of regime, and we were doing our the best. And I was training Iranian young students how to fight with enemy. I organized them. I was cooperating with ex-chief of staff of Iran, General Ariana. Simultaneously, I was working with Major General Ovaisi, and also I was in contact with a sister of Shah and her daughter, Princess Azadeh. I have done my the best. And finally, with Admiral Habibullahi, we have done the operation of Tabarzin, which I have written this book regarding of the story of Tabarzin. Tabarzin is the name of gunboat. Shah bought 14 gunboats in 1972 from France. 11 of them delivered before Islamic Revolution. 3 of them remained in Cherbourg. A large group, roughly 120 something navies, Iranian navies from Islamic Republic came to France, to Cherbourg, to bring these 3 gunboats returned to Iran. We stopped them in the international water of territory of Spain, and we captured Tabarzin gunboat, missile gunboat. And it was one of our successful operations that I have done in August 81 with my group.
Did you help coordinate this operation?
All commandos who will participate, 21 commandos were participating in this military operation. 20 of them were members of my paramilitary group. One of them was the son of Chief of Staff Major General Bahram Ariana. We captured this gunboat, of course. For a week it was in our hand, and we negotiated with President Mitterrand. After a week we were in Morocco, we were sailing, and later on we came back to port of Toulon in France. We negotiated with President Mitterrand. Those days was President of Republic, French President Republic. We delivered gunboats while we became all political refugee in France. I was insisting Iranian opposition, we have to continue the same strategy. We have to stand firm and very serious against the regime. This is a good beginning, but we have to continue. Bad luck. Iranian opposition were not happy with me, and well, I have done the best. I communicate with many people, but unfortunately I couldn't do as a young student what can I do? My capacity was so small and the problems in Iran were so much, so big. Anyhow, I was focusing on my PhD program with Paris University, and for a couple of months, I didn't touch anything. I mean, I forget everything about politics and this paramilitary group. I stopped it for a moment. I was focusing in my study and, well, academic activity. A couple of months later, Colonel Vazin called me and asked me an appointment. We were talking about current affairs in Iran and whatever is happening about opposition. And he mentioned that he has a special mission from Her Majesty Queen for me, and she asked why I am not active and I'm sit in the corner, sit aside, and I don't do anything, know myself and know my group. I mentioned that I have done once, and I believe that we must not reduce our level. We take gun and we take missile gunboat. We cannot do whatever we were doing before that. Therefore, now we have to send our militia to do some training in Israel, in Egypt, in Jordan, or some friend country with Iranian pre-Islamic revolution, to do training and enter to Iran and destroy the system internally. Because our enemy are not in Paris, Rome, Frankfurt, Los Angeles, or Chicago, or Boston, or Switzerland, or whatever. Our enemy are in Isfahan, in Tehran, in Shiraz, in Kermanshah, in Iran. We must transfer our activity, very serious military operation inside Iran. Okay. Princess Ashraf told me, Sister Afshar, you're running so fast. Either you will fall down and we cannot, well, follow you. You're running so fast. It is not possible to put in practice whatever really your burning desire, you demonstrate your burning desire. Okay. I go back to the story of this colonel who was one of the active member of Imperial Guard division. I told him this is our taste. Minimum we can make insecure people who are working for intelligence service or other public services or diplomatic service for Islamic Republic. How? Okay, we understood for the third year of establishing Islamic revolution in Iran, they want to make the largest mosque in Europe in the city of Nofl-Chateau, the place that Khomeini for 3 months was living over there to prepare his Islamic revolution. I mentioned that we have to stop this idea. Okay, at 6:30 in the morning, day 22nd of Bahman, I cannot remember exactly what is the equivalence in the date exactly, I can't remember, but however, it was end of autumn of 1982. 1982. 6:30 in the morning, a group of people, a group of diplomats of Islamic Republic, they want to come to Nofl-Chateau and establish officially and formally building of the first mosque. But at 4:30, 2 hours before, it was completely destroyed. And it was a note, whatever you build on this ugly area will be the same destiny, will have the same destiny. This explosion was very clear. Okay, And because of some financial problem that caused this operation against Javan paramilitary group, this time, honestly, I decided to stop any sort of political activity. And I was 100% focusing on my PhD program with Paris University. And a year later, accidentally, I met somebody who advised me to start underground organization, but not openly. This underground organization caused me to go back to Iran, despite that I had condemnation of 3 times death execution based on my political activity. And this sort of this operation of explosion of Nofl Chateau whatsoever was included. Plus, however, I have written this book, the book of Tabarzin. This is the story that here I'm talking about the reality, what was just this operation, and later on in some other book I will let you know. Here Shlosha Chavalim Letria, I have written in Hebrew, and I mentioned that why 3 times I condemned to be dead by Islamic Revolutionary Court. This book has translated the 3 ropes for hanging by Contento in Tel Aviv, translated in French with 3 cordes pour pendation, and also translated drei Kunstkunsten, and also translated in Russian Tre Bandovoka Hatchard, and also during this general operation I have written, as I told you yesterday, Abayev, how my activity, my religious pro-Christian activity in Australia, I had conflict with ASIO, Australian Intelligence Service, and they kicked me out via Sir Henry Baker Institute scholarship for 8 weeks, and I came here in 28 November 1994. Up till now, I'm here, Israeli citizen. All this story, for the first time, I have written in Persian, roughly 30 volumes of paper monthly shofar in Washington, D.C., shofar, Hebrew shofar, Hebrew-Persian shofar. This is roughly 30 volumes of shofar, which has written the life story and also the articles that I offer to this Persian Jewish community, Iranian Jewish community in Washington and Los Angeles. I tried to explain them why I have condemned to death execution 3 times, and how in 20th March 86 I went to Iran to be executed.
You knew that you were going, that you were like in a way a fugitive, or that you were on a hit list, and you were like enemy number 1 in Iran?
I was.
Sure. So weren't you nervous to go back to Iran?
Because we have decided to influence Iran via underground organization that we established in Paris.
And how did you go to
And
Iran?
we had long hands everywhere. I was the first candidate openly go to Iran. Not 99.99%, I was sure that they will immediately execute me. And also I understand that for many reasons. This is not only psychological problem that I had with my society, with my cooperator, they were not serious cooperator, whatever, as the sister of Shah mentioned, that you're running so fast, you will fall down and nobody cannot follow you because of this sort of exaggerating in your activity. However, I went to Iran in 20th March 1986. As I told you, this is the story which I've written in Persian and in Russian, in English, in French, in Germany. And this is Abayev which introduced, and in fact this is Shlosha Chavalim Letchia. This is a major book that I published in 2012.
And
I tell the story
how
here.
How did you come to Iran? Did you go to the main airport in Tehran?
No. I was in Paris in March 86. I was ready 100%. I was so hard condition, social condition, moral condition, emotional condition. I had horrible conflict with my ex-wife because I had very bad conflict with all my friends. I mean, activists, which I believe that they were not man enough. They were not brave enough for such a fight against enemy, and I had completely hopeless from different points. I was not able to be member of French Bar Association because of so many conflicts that I had with leftists and Muslim terrorists in Paris. 37 times I have captured by police because of this sort of activity. All of these reasons I couldn't work as a professional lawyer, despite that I had topmost academic degree. But because of political activity I couldn't. Let's say many Iranian opposition leaders, they were not happy with me, either jealousy or many other problem. They were not happy with me. I was alone. My family was not okay with me, and well, I had very bad label on my frontal. Anyway, I had horrible socially, mentally, emotionally bad feeling, and I understand that I have to finish my life because life has no meaning. But I am not so young man, well, to stick myself to electricity or jumping from 40th floor or take some strychnine or cyanure or arsenic whatsoever. I mentioned that I am a faithful soldier. I prefer to go back to Iran and be executed and be a part of dust of my nation and finish my story in my country. Honestly, I came to Iranian embassy. I don't call it Iranian, Islamic Republic Terrorist Embassy in Paris. And I told them that this is me and I want to go back to Iran. I have heard that 3 years ago, 3, 4, 5 years ago, your revolutionary court condemned me for 3 times death execution. I want to be executed at my home. I don't want to remain in this bloody country with these idiot people. They did not believe it because they knew me. My face was 100% very open and very clear for all of them. I mean, diplomatic, especially intelligence service people. I mean, in brackets, Islamic Republic. I'm talking in Embassy of Islamic Republic in Paris. Anyhow, for roughly 8 hours, they were interrogating me. They were asking me millions of questions.
This was in the embassy?
In embassy.
And you weren't nervous to go in?
No, it was the first time that went to embassy. Because I didn't want to suicide myself with stupid young generation system. I mentioned that, okay, I go to Iran to be executed. It was my last decision. Well, I wanted to take a ticket, to buy a ticket and, well, take a plane and fly to Iran. The guy told me, no, you have to go back to Iranian embassy, Islamic Republic embassy. You negotiate with them because you are a political refugee. You cannot fly directly from France to Tehran. We can't give you permission to enter to our flight. Anyway, a day later, I went to embassy and I talked to them and I told them I want to go back to Iran. What is the procedure? What I have to do? What is the administration order? What is your duty? What you have to do? I claim myself voluntarily go back to Iran to be executed. Okay, first of all, they didn't believe. They believed that, well, I have some explosion I established inside myself to explode embassy. I said, no, this time I submit myself. I want to go back to be executed. I have no any operation. I have no any negative intention. I have 100% positive intention for myself, for my own life. I want to cut my life, finish. Okay, roughly 8 hours they were interrogating, and they asked me, they treat very nicely, very respectfully, and very quietly, despite that they are ferociously terrorists. They were talking with me very nicely. Okay, roughly 8 hours, and they mentioned, okay, go back home, come back tomorrow. Tomorrow, what time you can be here? I said, just tell me what time is good for you, should be good for me. Okay, 3 or 4 times I was negotiating, or I was answering their question, I was interviewing with them, different groups. And finally, after 3rd or 4th days, they told me, listen, as a political refugee, you in France, with your bloody reputation, we cannot give you ticket and laissez-passer instead of travel document or passport. Take flight from Paris. You have to go to Frankfurt. This is Mr. X and his telephone number. You go to our embassy in Frankfurt. They will manage your trip. You're more than welcome. You're very good man. We have full respect to you. Thank you so much for your comment. Okay. Came back home. Just imagine during this time, such a tension is in my, inside my heart, my mind, and how I'm challenging with myself. Just shut up and don't talk to anybody. That, well, couple of days I'm planning to finish my life. Okay, the last day, well, I went to Frankfurt. In Frankfurt, again, between 6 to 8 hours, I was interrogating with 3 men, and finally they give me a laissez-passer and a ticket, and they told me tomorrow you go to the airport, you enter to the system, and you're more than welcome to your home. Okay, tomorrow, roughly 6 to 8 hours time, travel time between airport Frankfurt to airport Mehrabad in Iran. Every single second I was imagining how on the other corner outside of Mehrabad airport, Mehrabad Tehran airport, they will execute me, and my life will be finished. And I could not believe that, well, they could have another planning. Instead of killing me, they can use me on the other way, politically, and, well, for their propaganda, and talk to International Amnesty, International Human Rights Watch, and do a propaganda via different papers and tell the world that one of the toughest opposition leader, the head of paramilitary of Javan whatsoever, he came to Iran, we welcome him, we respect him, and nobody don't touch him. Despite that 5 years ago, he condemned by absentia with revolutionary court for 3 times death execution. Yes, for 3 years, 9 months, 11 days, I was living in Iran, and I was working as a lawyer, and also I was lecturing linguistic, and I was doing my best. A couple of weeks later, I understand that they will not kill me. A couple of months later on, I was certain that, well, bit by bit, I feel that they are using me on the other way, because intelligence service of Islamic Republic came to me, and they were talking very nicely, very kindly. They wanted to shake me, all information bring down. And I was very convinced that I have no option, but I was not okay with God, and I had no idea to say, thank you so much, God, this is your miracle that I have to remain alive still, and I have no idea what is your planning for my future. In December 89, I mentioned that I arrived Iran in March 86. In December 89, I've decided to leave Iran. 19 December.
I'd just like to ask you, can you just tell for our listeners what happened when you came to the airport, when you arrived for the first time back, when you
yes.
returned?
Okay, I arrived at 8:30, round about 8:30, 1986. 8:30 roundabout in the evening. Immediately when I came to the special office to control my passport, and I give them laissez-passer, the officer ring, and three police, armed police officers, revolutionary police, we call it pastar. They came and asked me to follow them.
This you knew was going to happen.
Exactly, whatever has happened.
You knew this was.
This is the story that you can read here.
Wow.
Okay, or here, both. You can read both. Okay, I follow them. They serve me tea, because tea is a very traditional, basic offer for a guest. Okay, I was drinking tea. I suppose that poison probably. Strychnine is inside, or arsenic, or whatever. Anyhow, I came to be executed. I didn't come to challenge with them. Half an hour, 20 minutes later, three men came and welcomed me to Iran. Welcome back to Iran. You are more than welcome. And they have started to negotiate, to interrogate about what is my motivation, with whom did I spoke, who knows that I am here, with whom did I talk about this trip. I mentioned that nobody. And I came with my own intention, and I didn't negotiate with anybody, and I didn't talk to anybody. 2 persons, they knew this operation, but I told them no. God forgive me. Sometimes we have to play our role. Okay, up till 5:30 in the morning, 3 different groups, they came again. They were interrogating they wanted to check, to control, and they were looking from different angles, different questions, different interrogation about different matter, from family, from business, from money, from financial, from education, from my friend, from my activity, with whom what do I have with myself, how many telephone number, everything. Just imagine, from 8:30 in the evening till 5:30 in the morning. 5:30 in the morning, they mentioned the last team. Okay, call one of your family, come here to be your guarant. You are free. Go home. Do whatever you want. You're more than welcome. The story of execution, completely forget about it. Doesn't exist such a thing. Yes, it was. But for a moment, because you come with your own idea, with your voluntarily, and with your own intention, nobody will not touch you. And this is a telephone number. Whoever touch you, call us and we will be with you. I was surprising. How is it possible? I came to be executed. I didn't come to introduce somebody to be my guarant and I became free. I said, listen, roughly 10 years ago I left my country, Iran. And during these 10 years, many things changed. Minimum 7 years revolution. You did revolution in this country. If I had any contact, if I had any telephone number, if I had any address whatsoever, completely changed. Beyond of that, I came myself to be executed at home, being a part of dust of my nation, of my country. I do not trust you and I do not believe you if I call somebody, just hypothetical, if I find a telephone and I call somebody, why he has to take risk of my political situation to come here to be my guarant? First of all, nobody will not believe that I am here. For example, imagine my uncle, for example, or my aunt or my tante, or they will never ever believe that I am here, because all of them, they know such a bunch of fire I am against you in Europe during the last 10 years. How can I do such a risk? I will never ever call anybody, even I know. I'm sorry for that. Therefore, beyond of these two very clear reasons, I came here to be executed. I didn't come here to leave. I have no idea. I'm sorry. I can't do anything. I don't know anybody. Everything changed. They said, okay, thank you so much. You are free. You are free. Okay. I was walking to leave the airport. I suppose that somebody will shoot me from back. Really, I was thinking. It was my image. They will shoot me from back. Okay. All my money in my pocket, it was a note of 20 mark. It was all of my property, all of my assets, 20 mark. Okay. Very slowly, very extremely bad feeling. I cannot say fearfulness, but very bad feeling. Upset and extremely sad feeling. I came here to be executed. Now I'm walking, and they told me, go on. Where I have to go? To whom? Where? I don't know anybody. What can I say? I had no idea.
You never contacted any member of your family?
No! How can I say? I can contact somebody. I'm coming to Iran? It is not imaginable.
So you never had an address where to go to?
No, nothing. No address, no telephone. Of course I had some idea. And I knew that idea should be all right. But I was not sure. Could be okay. Okay. I called a taxi and I told him I have only 20 mark and I want to go this address. Is it okay for you? He said, oh, wonderful. Come on. Okay, come on. Open the door. Okay. I went to my cousin. The address I knew. Oh, it was in my mind. The address of my cousin. I went to my cousin. It was roughly 6:20 in the morning. And he was from 3rd floor. He said, who is it? I said, come down, that's me. He couldn't believe it. He understood I am Jinni. This is not myself. This is my spirit. This is my... He was shaking. He came down and said, Jamshid. Yeah. Is it you? Yes, that's me. Okay, I'm serious. I'm not Jinni. What do you do here? How did you come here? Why didn't you call me? Why didn't we know? Okay, anyway. Immediately, half an hour later, I asked my uncle to go to the cemetery to visit my father.
He had passed.
Who passed away couple of years before that time. Okay, I met my father, tomb of my father certainly, and I told him that he was always waiting me to come back and change the system in Iran. He was full of hope. He was always calculating on me and my faithful, brave, nationalistic, heroic mentality, whatever he believes that, well, I will come back and I will destroy this idiot system in Iran. And I came back to his tomb and I told him that I am here and I will do my job. I have done my best.
And your mother, did you manage to see your mother?
She was in Iran, but she was an old lady. How can I tell her that anyway, this is longer story. Two of her brother, my two uncles, they were talking later on when we come back with my uncle, brother of my mother, Moshe. When we came back from cemetery, he asked me, do you want to see your mother? Yeah, of course. I came, this is the first. I wish, but I don't, you have to do something. You have to prepare her. She's an old woman, well, infarctus, well, cardiac.
Yeah.
because she can't believe. Anyway, both brothers, two uncles mentioned that, okay, you stay here, we go to visit your mom and talk to her and, well, prepare her that probably we receive a letter, a telegram from you, but he had no your address whatsoever. Probably he will come back and just be relaxed. Anyway, it takes, well, a day and a half, close to 2 days. Well, they prepare, two brothers prepare their sister, my mom, that, well, I can go and visit her, tell her that, yes, that's me and I'm here.
And you met your mom?
Yes.
It was very emotional when you met your mom.
It was, she was crazily happy and, well, fully crying and couldn't believe it. What's happened? Because she knows that, well, what do I do? What did I do politically, militarily against the system in Iran? But always shut up. She cannot talk to anybody.
And your siblings, you managed to see some of your siblings?
One of them was in Iran in that
And
time.
others
My
had already-
sister, well, my sister was in Iran. Nobody else.
And you got on well with your sister?
Beg your pardon?
You had a good connection with your sister?
Wonderful. She's after me in family. That's her. She's a medicine doctor. She's
Where does she
pathologist.
Where is she practicing today?
She was in Iran a couple of years ago. She moved to London.
And today she's in London?
Yes, that's her. She's in London. Yeah.
Zoom in. This is incredible.
Yeah, this is incredible, but, well, not easy feeling. Well, if you are living, it is not possible, dear Dr. Lassen, to explain exactly what is feeling. It is impossible to express that horrible feeling the first hours, the first days. Bit by bit that I understand and know they have some other planning.
Did you feel they were following you, or there was agents that were...
They told me that you are under control. They honestly confessed me, you are under control. Take care of yourself. Wherever you go, whatever you do, whatever you say,
we will know.
any contact.
But they didn't say you have to report to the police station once a week, or...
No, they told me in the airport, they told me come back next 8 days. When they asked me to introduce somebody to be my guarant, and I said I can't, they asked me, okay, how do you call it? Wallet.
A wallet.
Wallet was in my pocket. I told them, okay, this is my wallet. This is my guarant. Whatever is inside. All of my documents. And it was here, for example, like this, like my ID card. They mentioned that, okay, that's enough. It was a motorcycle license of many years ago. They said, that's enough. And takes time that I understand that I am 100% under control. But I was bit by bit, day by day, hour by hour, convinced that they have some other planning. They don't want to kill me. They have some other planning. A couple of days later, it was for 13 days from 22nd March each year, we have festival of beginning of New Year Nowruz in Iran. For 2 weeks, everywhere closed. All universities and the educational system, many administration are completely closed. Holiday, very special holiday. During this holiday, family meeting, family visiting, finding friends, negotiating with this friend and that friend. Everybody was shocked when they, see that, I'm in Iran. And after a couple of weeks, I found a job. I became a legal advisor of an international business company. Simultaneously, I became translator of chairman of this company, French translator, because they were negotiating with an African company which they need strong official translator, Persian, French, Persian, for writing expose, writing all the letters and all communication whatsoever, both verbal communication, verbal translation, and also for letter and correspondence and everything. And I've done. I received good money from this company. In the day 40, when I was working in this company, somebody called me and he introduced himself the same name that the guy in the airport gave me in piece of paper. This is our man. Sometimes if he call you, answer him nicely. He is from us. Okay, I had always heard that name. Okay, very nicely, very kindly, we can visit you and to have a nice talking. I said, just you tell me. I'm working in this company, and I believe that any time which is convenient for you should be good for me. Just tell me where, how, I will come to see you. Okay. A white car of, what was it? A French car. I can't remember the name.
Peugeot, Citroën.
No, not Peugeot, no. Anyway, a French small car. White car.
Renault.
Oh, thank you so much. Very kind of you, dear. Yeah, Renault. And they were a driver, another man sitting on front, and another man in the back. They came. Hello. Okay. More or less 3 to 4 hours we were running in the city, driving in the city. We didn't sit any place. And they were talking about everything, very nicely, very kindly. For half an hour they were talking how they love me, how they respect me, how I am important for them, how whatever I have done based on a very heroic, only Ali did such a thing. Ali means the cousin of Prophet Muhammad, and the first Shia leader, because from that side came to this side, voluntary to enemy, with his own heart, with his own heroic belief. Definitely I had no such feeling. I came to suicide. I didn't want to be a hero. But in their eyes, they wanted to introduce the idea, and I was a Superman in their eyes, but they can't understand that I really went to suicide. I wanted to finish my life. It was my real belief. Despite that was not easy, but it was the fact. But for them something else. They were people of intelligence service of Islamic Republic. And later on, each month, each 3 weeks, they were calling, and we had another meeting. And always they tried to have a good relationship with me, very respectful relationship with me. And they asked me many times, repeatedly, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want to do. But don't forget that you are a lawyer, and whatever you do has to be under the legal definition. You know law of the legal affair of this country better than us. You are a wonderful lawyer. Make your business. Feel free. You have always a telephone number. Whoever disturb you for any reason, don't hesitate to call us. We are with you. We are supporting you. Okay, I did 6 months again training with Bar Association to be an active lawyer, despite that before Islamic Revolution, 4 years before Islamic Revolution, I did this course with Iranian Bar Association, and officially and formally I became a lawyer. I received a license, legal action, legal professional action. I did this 6 months training with the other lawyer, and I became I was acting as a lawyer. Simultaneously, I was teaching French to in private for Iranian young students, and I was trying my best to find good feeling of who is who and what is what, and how can I really transfer the idea of movement, underground movement in Paris that we have established a year before this trip, and I was the first candidate to come to Iran and transfer that activity inside home and to be active in the center of our battlefield. Takes more or less 9-10 months. That now is the time to begin a real work, a good business. I mean, based on this definition. Okay, I had a client who was the head of a travel agent company. Bit by bit, he became closer and closer and closer. I tried to help him. Mm-hmm. For example, if normal fee or legal fee for his legal case, for example, if $10,000, I ask him $6,000. But he knows that average price for such a case is $10,000, but I ask him $6,000 because I was planning to use him for the other way. He introduced another client, and I understand that, he became more interested. I followed the same strategy. I try to be attractive for people and choose amongst them whoever is really more clean, to use them, to train them, to teach them, to motivate them for that underground organization, which the center was in Paris. By the same time, don't forget that every couple of weeks, those intelligent people, they are coming and checking me, and I have to tell them everything from A to Z. Who came in this office? What has happened? What did I say? And how was it? Okay, I have to report everything from A to Z. Of course, they didn't use the force for such interrogation, such report, but they were interested. They tried to convince me, listen, you are living in this country, you have to minimum cooperation with us. Very friendly. We do not put so much in your shoulder. Do whatever you want, but reasonably. Reasonable.
Daniel, can I ask you, do you think that their intention was, by showing a human face, that you might feel, well, maybe the revolution isn't so bad, maybe I should cooperate more and become part of the system?
Yeah, thank you so much for this good hint.
You know, when
you
see people that you think are like so evil, and they actually turn out to be not friendly, even though they might be pretending, but that your encounter with them is, instead of being so negative, becomes rather positive. So sometimes your perception can change, and your whole political thinking can also change. Did you think that was the intention?
Definitely, absolutely, concretely, you were right. They were playing, and I was playing. And both of us, we understand that we are playing, every single of us, for their own benefit, for sure. Twice they asked they asked me to do an interview, exactly the same interview that you are doing. They asked me, tell all your life story, first of all, and then tell us what is your feeling after 10 years being far from Iran, 7 years Islamic Revolution, you came back home. What is your feeling? 10 months, 11 months, a year, you are living at your home. What is your feelings? What is your understanding? How do you interpret it? Whatever you have heard of Islamic Republic out of Iran, and you were extremely ferociously against us. Now tell us your feeling. Okay. always they insisted me, just be honest with us. Don't try to change any idea because you were there and we are here and we were enemy. Now we are friends. Don't hesitate yourself to tell the truth. Just tell us the truth. Okay. In this interview, I told them I'm very happy as an Iranian. After 10 years, I came back home to my beloved home, Iran. Certainly, I'm not happy with your Islamic revolution. I'm not happy. I cannot lying you. Because you, Mr. X, and you, Mr. Y, you told me to be honest. I'm honestly with you. I am not happy with the Islamic Republic, but I'm happy to be at my home. And thank you so much that you didn't kill me, despite that I had 3 times death execution. This is more than clear. For roughly 2.5 hours, we were talking about this topic, and I honestly told them. But they didn't publish it. Okay, after a couple of months, 6-7 months, they asked me again. They told me that, listen, Dr. blah, 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 Donna, not Donna, Hassani, we want to ask you just a little bit, bring down, just a little bit, be wise enough, because you're here in Islamic Republic. But okay, they told, it was the rule. Don't use tie, okay? It is written as a courtesy, as ethicology bar association, okay? Don't use tie, but always use a bow tie. Wow. Some crazy things like that. And everybody were crazy in the court, and some of them were extremely angry, and some of them were extremely happy, because it is using bow tie in Islamic Republic doesn't exist such a thing. Okay, legally no tie, but I use bow tie. Something. Yeah, I was doing my best. Twice they asked me to do an operation for them in Europe. What is it? Okay, they know all of my background. They know all of my relationship, not only with Iranian opposition, but also with many other system, with other national fighters, or with any other oppositions. Like I had a good contact with Georgian, with Yugoslavian, I mean, let's say mercenary system, let's say. We were working for some operation. They used us, our group, and we were using. We had a good relationship, and we were working with each other for political concept. Okay, they asked me, go to Europe, this is your passport, and this is your support. And try to analyze how you can programming, terrorizing, shooting Yasser Arafat.
Wow.
Okay, I came to Europe. Of course, they asked me, don't talk to your old friends. Just not Iranian. I mean, try to hide yourself from Iranian, but talk with Georgian or Yugoslavian, and tell them this is very secret, very, very, very secret. Extremely secret. We want to shoot him. What is your planning? Oh, this is our planning. How can you support? What can you do? We sort of the instrument, for example, how is it possible to give us, for example, gun or pistol or whatsoever, or system of security or covering, or a different assistance for this operation? For example, in the city of Miami in the US, or for example in Zurich in Switzerland. Just imagine.
Why did they want to shoot Arafat?
Okay. Later on I will answer this question. And the other time, okay, I came, 2 weeks I was in Europe, from Frankfurt. My ticket was to Frankfurt. From Frankfurt, by bus, I had a different trip, and I visit some people, and I return home and I give report. This is our planning, this is our information, this is our liaison, and this is our long hands, and this is our proposal. Couple of months later, they asked us the same planning for Masoud Rajavi, the head of Mujahideen. Again, I came and I have done my best, and I bring exact report that whatever they want. They ask me. Now I go back to your answer. I assume that they were checking me if I leave home, what should be my reaction? Am I faithful to them? Or I will use this opportunity, bye-bye, go to my own interest or whatever. It was whatever I felt. I feel that I have to be honest with them and don't do anything wrong. Both time I return home with clean report and clean result. Honestly, whatever I have done, I told them.
Did you meet with any agents in Europe? Any of their agents? Did they give you any contact details to meet with any of
What do you mean? What do you mean by term of agent?
Iranian operatives that were in Europe. Did they want you to meet with any when you came back to Europe?
No, they gave me 2 missions: shooting Yasser Arafat, shooting Masoud Rajavi.
And you had to
planning, just give us your plan. They ask me, I propose, I do research, I contact with my people, and I bring a planning to guy in Tehran. This is my proposal, and this is my liaison, this is my long hands, and this is the opportunity that I can use it. They wanted to check me up till where my hands go, first of all, and secondly, am I really honest with them? I go back home again, or not? Or they wanted to check my system of working in Europe. Certainly they had somebody on my back to check into controlling.
I'm sure that people were following you.
Very clear, but I didn't know. But I knew that probably I am under control. Because of that, because I wanted to go, because my real mission, that underground organization in Paris, the branch in Iran, it was my dream. It was my faithful planning. For that, for the sake of that, I did 100% correct 2 operations that they asked me. Yeah, we had reasonable relationship with each other. Of course, financially, twice I was in bad situation. I talked to them. They promised, but they didn't put in practice. They didn't do anything. I mean, financially, just zero. And a day, one of the leader of Hezbollah that I punched him many times. He was the leader of Iranian students in Paris universities and leader of Hezbollah. I punched him many times. In Paris, he was Iranian student in Paris. I go back to Iran. When I was in Iran, a day I was coming down from Minister of Justice. I had a case, and suddenly I have seen in front of me, Jamshid, where are you? I have heard that you are in Iran. I was looking for you. Oh, you are something. Okay, come. Okay, he asked me, he became a billionaire. This Hezbollah, the leader of Hezbollah University students. In Iran, he became top billionaire. He brought me to his office, which was a big international consortium, stronger than a ministry. Let's say a couple of thousands of people are working for him. And he told me, you are the head of legal affairs of this company from now. Are you happy? I said, okay, good. I have my law office. I have to go there. anytime you have free time, this is your office, and financially, just give us whatever you need each month. I don't tell you anything. Just whatever you need, tell us. That's all. This is our financial relationship, and this is your office. I was working with him very successfully for a couple of months, and later on, a day, he gave me a check of 175 million to month, which I have to claim against this check, which he received his company from a woman, a young woman. Robabe Aminian was her name. And as a lawyer of this company, I was doing legal activity against this woman, young lady. And I understand she has extravaganza escort, Iraqi escort, Iraqi guardian, not Iranian. Iranian are second hand for him. Therefore, her capturing is not easy job. Okay. In this position, I asked my friends, means intelligent people, and I told them, listen, urgently, I need your help to capture this woman. And I had all official and formal and legal necessities in my hand from court, but practically impossible. No police can capture her. Just I need your help. They did. I captured her. And I became top lawyer amongst 15, 20 lawyers. They were working in this case, of course, under their protection. This is the only positive point that I received during 3 years, 9 months, 11 days in Iran. Okay, it was an explosive, like an explosive bomb. This reputation, okay, Orechtin, blah, 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 captured Mrs. Robabe Aminian, and she is in prison now. Okay, papers.
It made the papers.
Okay, it brought me extraordinary reputation. And a couple of times, because of this reputation of challenge with judge and with inspector legal system, and my clients, they were standing out of court and they were listening how, in which language, how, harshly, severely, very stubbornly I was talking with group of judges. You have to do that. It is impossible. A lawyer, a simple advocate, talk with group of judges so strongly, so ferociously, so angrily, so seriously. Okay, this reputation day by day gives me more opportunity. And I believe that, something happening. Thank you, God. Something changed. A couple of weeks later, a group of the head of company Oj, they came and they asked me to take care of them in the same case. Roughly 1,800 of Iranian Navy officers and pilots, they were involved in this case, and each of them, big money they paid for this woman to make them a bunch of flats. Okay? And based on embezzlement, their money destroyed, and I promised them to do the best. These military guys, 7 men, who were representing, officially they were representative of 1,800 something navies and pilots. They understood who am I, not only as a simple lawyer in Iran, but they understood what did I do in France.
Your history, yeah.
My history. I said, why didn't you tell us? I said, what I have to tell you? Okay, I'm a lawyer and I'm taking care of your case. No. It was the last year of war Iraq-Iran.
Wow.
And they said, okay, bring all of this stuff to politics. Instead of we go flight to bombard Iraq, we bombard Jamaran, Khomeini's house and all the stuff in Iran. Change the system. They hint me to do something extraordinary, which is, how is it possible? God, such a planning. Okay. Anyway, I don't know how to say bad luck or good luck. I have no idea. I discover, based on my legal research, that the wife of Prime Minister Zahra Rahnavard, the wife of Mousavi, Karoubi, Ayatollah Karoubi, the head of parliament, Hadi Ghaffari, the head of commission of military in parliament, and many others, they were supporting this Robabe, this young, 30 years young lady who I was fighting against her, and 370 million US dollar she had condemned to embezzlement. And day by day this case was bring me both good reputation and dangerous situation. And last day I talked with Mr. Nourouzi, the head of the judges in the criminal court. Tomorrow is the first open day of reading the case publicly. I will ask, you invite Mrs. Zahra Rahnavard, the head of parliament, and this and this and this and that to the court and answer the questions how they support this Mrs. Robabe Aminian for 370 million US. He said, no, don't be crazy, don't do such a thing. You receive 750 million Toman as your law offer, and you are the best lawyer in this country. You have wonderful. Why do you want to destroy everything? Forget about it. Just shut up and continue the business. I said, no, I will do that. Tomorrow, I shout in the court for public, and mass media has written. 8 days later, I had no room in Iran because they send me different messages. We will kill you, we will do this and this and this and this, and then we will destroy you, we will do many messages. My law office received. I had been invited as Middle Eastern lawyer to participate in a conference of Euromoney in December 18 December 1989, I'm sorry. 1989. I was in London for 3 days. My law office called me, don't come back. They will kill you. Okay. I'll come back home. I didn't pay attention, whatever my law office advised me, the secretary, the people. I called those people, intelligence service, my friends who were always coming and supporting me, that telephone. Nobody didn't answer. Once, twice, third, fourth. And later on, I will tell you how somebody came to me and split and said, before leave. They want to kill you. And 3 days later, I was in Bombay. I had a client, a petroleum company, an Indian petroleum company in Bombay. I came to visit this company and negotiate about the case, and I did not return home. I came to Melbourne, and I was in Australia 4th January 1990 up till now.
And did you travel on the document that they gave you, the passport that they gave you?
Yes, the same passport that twice I was in Europe.
You had a legal passport now?
Yes, absolutely legal. No. I gave this passport to Australian government to be recognized as a political refugee in Australia. A couple of weeks later, when I arrived in Australia, 4th January 1990, it remained over there. Later on, I received travel document of Australia that I told you. In November '94, I arrived Israel. I gave them to people, and I didn't receive them. This is.
And Daniel, can I ask you, when you left to go to Mumbai, did you know that you're not going to be coming back?
Yes. I had very clear idea. The last time in December 89, precisely 19 December 89, the last time I left Iran, I was 100% sure that I would not return to Iran till finish the story.
Did you manage to speak to your mother or see your mother or your sister?
No, I couldn't. How is it possible?
Because
it was completely secret. It was completely silent.
And leaving the airport, you were nervous that they'd detain you at the airport?
No, because I have been 4 times during that 3 years, or 9 months, 11 days that I was in Iran. 4 or 5 times I traveled with the same passport. Twice for them and 3-4 times for myself. I had a trip many times, 2-3 times I came to Turkey to visit some people.
Now Daniel, I'd like to ask you, when you came back to Iran and you and I in Tehran and did you notice a tremendous difference once it was under the Revolutionary Guards and once it was under the revolution? Post revolution and pre-revolution, was there a tremendous difference with people? Could you sense that it wasn't the same country anymore?
I have seen many negative points, and I have heard many sad and ugly and bad stories.
And when you saw it for yourself in reality?
Twice I had the police, they captured me because I was traveling with the head of secretary system of my legal office. She was the wife of a colonel, a Navy colonel. When I arrived Iran, she was in prison because she had contact with her husband in Turkey. When she returned, this is based a couple of years before me, before my story. She was in prison, and my sister asked me as a lawyer if I can help her. I help her, and I bring her out from prison, and she wishes to come to Australia and to visit her 2 children. We became very affiliated to each other. She became, let's say, how can I say, a very close friend.
Mm-hmm.
Very close friend, like husband and wife, let's say. She was the head of secretary system of my law office. I promised her, bit by bit, we became closer and closer and closer to each other. And I promised her a day I will bring her to Australia. And I request both of us, in one file, I request Australian Embassy in Tehran. This is our specification. We did application. Her children are in Australia, Melbourne, and we received application. We did all the procedure, all legal administration procedure, and we received Australian visa a year before this story. It means that we received in 1987, something like that, but our trip was 1919 December 89. I left first of all, and I asked her, you come back next 2 weeks to understand exactly what's happening, to checking, to controlling. It was our negotiation. I will contact you in Bombay because formally, I'm going to visit, negotiate with our client, Petroleum Company X in Bombay. She came next 2 weeks, and we came to Australia for January 1990.
And Daniel, I just want to ask you, when you did come back to Iran and you thought you were going to be executed and you drove in the streets, did you notice a tremendous different Tehran from when you had been there before the revolution? Did you see the mood of the people?
Yes.
Did you feel there was a
it was
major
very
difference?
clear. The atmosphere was completely changed. Not only the name of the streets, not only the titles, not only the atmosphere, not only behavior of, social behavior of citizens, of Iranian citizens, not only educational system, not only administration system, many things were completely changed. The value of corruption in that time was so high, comparing with the time of Shah. With the time of Shah, I became lawyer in that time. Before revolution, 3 years before revolution, I became lawyer. And I was working as a lawyer. I have never ever heard that I can buy any judge. It was impossible. But during that 3 years and 9 months, 11 days that I was in Iran, I was able to buy any judge for any case. I was winner for any case. Absolutely. This is judicial system. You can imagine, you can transfer these sort of corruption to the other levels of the society.
To the civil service.
Yeah, completely tangible. This sort of total corruption is boiling in the society.
And did you feel there was fear in the people, the population, or they were scared, or could you feel there was a difference in when you'd see people walking on the streets as compared to before the revolution?
Absolutely. 100% change, 100% to different society, to different incomparable society. Before revolution, it was a normal society like Israel, like Europe, like US. It's a modern, civilized, Western mentality was the mind of majority of Iranian population before Islamic revolution. And after that became completely Islamic. This idiot Chador and whatsoever, this system is the poison gift of Islam, Shiite revolution,
so
which is completely all of them are poison gift of Shia terrorism, which is completely irrelevant to Iranian culture. But before that, you have millions of reporting, YouTube, in everywhere you can see, before Islamic revolution, after Islamic revolution. Social behavior, the total corruption, any sort of activity, administration, legal affair, business, industry, participation, and the public in the people in public affair, completely different, completely two different atmosphere, which is incomparable, absolutely incomparable. I'm talking about 35 years ago, don't forget it. This is so much. Now I have heard that this is another country, another people, another society, another mentality, completely irrelevant to whatever they were. Yeah, very bad.
When they had the protests, which was a few years ago,
yeah,
and you saw the public outpouring of people want to change, people want they
Iranian, dear brother, Iranian young generation are 100% again, 100%, not 95, 99.99%. 100% Iranian, let me correct it. High percentage of Iranian are against the system. High percentage. This high percentage, many people from government, mass media, government's mass media, people, active people in politics, many ministers, many official people of government, many times announced that 95% of people are not happy with system. 95%. This is official statistic, not opposition. Mm-hmm. Many official and strong members of the government announced that 95% of people are not happy. The average, economic average of below zero is over 80%. Can you imagine such a poor society? Such a total corruption? It is completely destroying. This is the reason why This high majority, they hate the system. Completely they hate it. They are just by force, ferocious forces. Military force is ruling in Iran, nothing else. Society is exploding. It's going to be explode. Not so long in future. In very close near future, we will witnessing how the society will explode.
Most probably a public uprising.
Yes, yeah. It should be public uprising, certainly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, Daniel, looking on your walls, I see you've been interviewed by many magazines. There's the Jerusalem Report, Haaretz.
Yeah, many. Haaretz, Yediot Acharonot, Ma'ariv. Yeah, I have no many. Outside, you can also.
I've seen this.
You can see
just
many
amazing.
things. Yeah.
And coming to Israel and being, here we have, we'll just go and we'll scan a little bit with Netanyahu, with Katsav, with Shimon Peretz, with Uzi Landau. You've met with the hierarchy of Israel political establishment. And
praise God for the opportunity that I had. Good friends of me, especially David Herman, Jan-Willem van der Hoeven, they offered me this golden opportunity. The leaders of Iranian community certainly, and they give me the opportunity to be in contact with leaders of Israel and share with them whatever I feel, whatever is my experience, and tell them the reality and ask them, hey, future of Iran and Israel, as I told you yesterday, hand in hand together will absolutely, concretely, certainly change the ugly face of terror and terrorism in the Middle East. This is whatever large group of Iranians believe in that, and we have to be aware and use such bunch of energy which could be useful for all of us.
And Daniel, in Israel, there's a very large Iranian Jewish community.
300,000.
Yeah, and in Los Angeles, in the States as well.
Yes, in Los Angeles we have around about 120,000, more or less. Or let's say all United States. New York, Los Angeles, and the other states, it is estimated to 120,000 Iranian Jewish communities.
And you have a very special, I'm sure you have a very special...
reasonable connection I have. Well, 2 years ago, I had a long speech in Great Neck, Iranian Bet Knesset. And I have contact with many Jewish Iranian leaders in LA, California. Shofar, this is one of the papers that I've written about my life story and the articles that I send them each month. Many other papers I have, monthly paper of Kurosh. Shofar, we have two Shofar, Washington and LA. For both of them I write different articles, and this is only just about Abayev. Yeah.
Oh, well, Daniel, it's been such an honor and a privilege to...
Thank you so much, dear brother, for your time.
And to hear your amazing journey.
Thank you so much for your help.
Contribution really to the Iranian people and the country, and your deep connection to Israel and your bridge between the two.
Hopefully it should be good. Don't forget that here, a bridge builder between faiths.
It's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I have reasonable experience either in comparative religions or in politics or in history and culture between Iran, Westerners, especially Israel, and I am very convinced that God wants hand in hand to work with each other very seriously for the sake of Judaism, for the sake of Israel, and for the sake of monotheism, which is essence of existence.
So again, I really feel I want to personally thank you. It's been the greatest honor and a privilege.
Thank you so much,
Daniel,
dear.
really thank you. We'll go like this. But thank you very, very much.
Amen.
It's been a real,
Thank you so
a real
much
honor and
for
a
coming.
privilege.
Your wonderful job. Hopefully
you.
it should be useful for all Am Israel, and בעזרת השם יתברך אנחנו עושים משהו טוב בשביל עם ישראל.
Tadara Barava. And just Mazal,
amen.
Brocha, and all
Amen,
of
amen.
Hashem's blessings.
Amen, amen. Thank you so much, dear.